I think eventually we're gonna have to replace that start screen. I think eventually.
Yeah, to what?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very good question. I don't
Something
know.
more entertaining?
Possibly a little bit more upbeat, maybe some highlight reels. I don't know. And oh shoot, you know what? You know what did not happen? I bet you Jacob did not reach out to a thing. So,
Oh, yeah. We
yeah.
were supposed to have a
So
guest.
we were. Let me see if I can email Carlos real quick. Don't mind us, everybody. We were supposed to have a guest, and let me shoot an email to Carlos to see if.
Whoopsie daisies.
Yeah.
Looks like my mom's in the chat already. Volty. I've always wondered what symphonic resonance's real name is. Do you know who that is
I
secretly?
no.
No. Oh, mystery.
Yeah.
But holding down the fort for United Nation on all of the social medias,
Yep.
Reddit and right, Discord.
Yes. Yes. Symphonic has been huge for the community and doing a lot for social media and keeping fans interested and engaged. And it's really
Bolte,
great.
Bolte could get that question right at trivia night. Who is the identity of symphonic resonance?
Yes, exactly. So all right, email sent to Carlos. Hopefully we can still get Itamar on. Yeah. So, but yeah, welcome on in, everybody. It's Tuesday night, not Thursday night. And silver alert here in town, apparently.
Uh-oh.
Yep. It is Tuesday night. We are here. We're celebrating. Oh my gosh, go away, silver alert. Okay. Yeah, we're here. We're here, we're there, we're every effing where. Cristo Fernandez has been officially signed by El Paso. If you guys saw that today. Danny Rojas is officially a USL championship
They
team member.
they waited until after they played at the lab.
They did.
Want him to realize, oh, wait, this would have been a way better place to play.
That's gotta be it.
For
That
sure.
must be what's going on. But yeah, welcome on in, guys. We've got a win to talk about. We've got a cup match this weekend. Christina, how are you? I know you mentioned in our group text you're not feeling well. How's life been with all of the changes you have coming up?
Yeah, life is just busy. I was just telling Seth before we hit the live button that my kids are finishing up school this week. So that and work and Mother's Day hosting, and I feel like I'm burning both ends of the candle and up the middle. So it's a little worn down.
Yeah, we all get like that here and there, and obviously, we all have, between you, Jacob, and myself, we have plenty of kids. We have lots of things going on, work, lives, all sorts of things. But hopefully, you at least were able to celebrate Mother's Day. Hopefully, your kids did
Mhm.
something nice for you.
Yes, I felt very loved, and my mom came over, my sister, niece and nephew. We had like a little tea party. It's become a tradition, Mother's Day tea.
Very cool. Very cool. Dang it. No Edamar tonight.
I figured as much.
Yeah.
Maybe next week.
Oh, maybe next week. Yep. I will stay in touch with Carlos. But so we had talked about, we had mentioned we were going to have Itamar on. We're going to shoot for next week, hopefully. I know it's another busy week, so we'll see. I found out the reason Itamar couldn't join us last Tuesday, even though we didn't record on Tuesday, Itamar couldn't join us because he was having dinner with Pete.
Oh.
So I said, well, just get them both on. We'll have dinner with dinner with Pete and Itamar. How about that? So and I did tease Carlos. I said, if Itamar and Pete were both on the show, we'd never leave.
Yeah, yeah.
Lots of things to talk about with those two gentlemen, especially. So we will work on rescheduling Itamar and getting him on the show soon. I am a little disappointed. I was really looking forward to talking to him. Itamar, he's approached us, and Itamar wants to be on the show. Inamar wants to come and talk. So, a lot of things to go on with. So, working on signing Jamie Tart. I mean, you know what? You never know.
You never know. Well, Phil Dunster,
Mm-hmm.
he came to the lab.
He did. He did come to the lab. So,
Yeah.
he's seen he's seen the crowd, he's seen the atmosphere. So who knows? But I will say, if 35-year-old actor, but the thing, he does have experience, right? So, so it's not like they're just signing some guy off the street. So Cristo Fernandez does have a background with soccer. He trialed with El Paso and Chicago Fire this offseason. So who knows? Who knows how big of an impact he's going to make? I mean, obviously the Danny Rojas memes will continue should he score some goals for El Paso this season. But it'll be really, really interesting to see what happens with that. But, we've got things to talk about. Bolte asking, who's going to Springs? Are you going to Springs?
I am not going to
You're
Springs.
not.
I feel like I'm bad luck. I haven't traveled since LA because I'm 3 for 3. Three
Okay.
matches I've traveled to, 3 matches. No, 4. 4 for 4. So I don't know. I'm sitting this out.
Yeah, I haven't been to Widener, either new or old. I'm still trying to figure out who the fan we had in the stands back in the COVID year that was wearing the Everton kit. I'm still trying to figure out who that was. I have no idea. I would love to meet them. But I can't make it. I've got the kids this weekend. Going to do some pre-birthday preparation for my youngest. His birthday is not this weekend, but the following weekend. So trying to figure out exactly what he wants to do. I think I might take them to go see Mandalorian and Grogu. So
Oh, very cool.
yeah, might do that. We'll see. But yeah, we're coming up. We're now, well, I'd say we're now 10 matches a season. The league, for the most part, is 10 matches into the season. New Mexico United still not 10 matches into the season. We had 2 last week. We had our predictions. We talked about what would be a successful, stretch here. And I don't remember what you had hoped for out of those 2 matches last week. I said 4 points from those 2 would be a good week. And we very nearly had 6.
Yeah, we are so close.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I guessed for the El Paso match. I think I was feeling like I'd be happy if we walked away with 1 point. So
Yeah.
I guess I should be happy, but I wasn't happy walking away with 1 point. It felt like a loss.
It did.
So I'm real stingy, I just can't ever be pleased, apparently.
No, I get it. I completely understand. And it's one of those, and we'll get to Las Vegas here and we'll Springs in just a minute. But when you look at that El Paso match, obviously El Paso had been playing well. And you come into the Wednesday night, we're not terribly hopeful for a win out of this one. I think most of us expected a draw out of it, or had hoped for a draw, I should say. And you get late into the match, you've got a lead, and then El Paso gets a bit of a wonder goal, right? Yes, I think we can all agree that Chris Shakes made a mistake, but the goal in itself, like, that could have gone wrong in so many ways. So El Paso steals a point on the road. You come into Saturday, you would like to think that there's some sort of momentum. You've got the win over AV Alta, you got the draw against El Paso, and you've got Las Vegas coming in, a club that had not been necessarily great on the season so far. And when you look at it, you look at the lineup that we sent out, and let me share my screen here. And so you look at the lineup, and again, we get a return. Kip Keller back from injury. Finally, we had a chance to talk to him after the match about how he's doing, and then you see the change in goal, Raiko Rosarena. I was concerned.
I was too. I think you texted the group, or maybe Jacob did, and said Kip's in, and I said yay, and then somebody said Rosarena's in, and I said, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that was me sending those out, and it came on. So some of this kind of came on the heels of the fact that um, there was a question over in the Discord about Kip Keller and a rumor that he had undergone another procedure. Now, I had already addressed this elsewhere. And so it's like, no, 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 no. So I was in the press box prior to the match. I said, hey, just so you know, Carlos, there's a rumor that's popped up in a couple different places. And it may have even been the same person. I don't know. But I said, there's a rumor that, Kip has undergone another procedure. And he looked at me. He goes, oh, really? Where did that come from? It's like, I have no idea. And sure enough, Carlos and I are sitting there, and here you get the team sheet, and you're looking at, okay.
Guess he didn't have a procedure.
Nope. Guess he did not have a procedure. No, Kip Keller was back in the lineup. Chris Shakes was shaken up after the match on Wednesday. He was limping up the ramp to the locker room. So knowing that, I was hopeful that Chris Shakes would get the start, but Rosarena getting the nod here. Keller coming back actually pushes Nico Hamalainen out to the left, which is Nico's natural position. So you finally get Nico in a natural position. Lakava's still not in a natural position. But you have Bailey and Jabang in the midfield, which is where I want these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, okay, I have hopes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hope she was, and yes, Las Vegas has not beaten us at. No, that's not true. We hadn't beaten them here since 2022 because, and I talked to Zico after the match about, was it a bit of revenge after the way things went for him and the last time we played Las Vegas at the Lab, and he's like, no, it's not about revenge. It's you come out and play the best you can every single night. So like, all right, I like it, but yeah, I talked to Kip and Nico getting pushed out to the left. Nico looked good.
Mm-hmm.
United comes out, and you can see that obviously we're doing the same thing we always do. We're moving the ball out of the back, playing, and Las Vegas didn't really press as much as I thought they would, because we've seen clubs have success with that. And, we had talked about how Wednesday, the first half against El Paso, was probably the best 45 minutes of football we've seen this season. Did we do better here?
I feel like it was a continuation of getting their bearings and starting to click together. But also I kept thinking, but this is against Vegas. Like there were some instances where I felt like, ooh, if that had happened against a different team, we would have paid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and here just this pass from Zico, Zico had a night in his own right, but you watch this pass, driving the byline here, nutmegs 2 defenders to get that ball across. Yeah, to get that ball across to Niall, and Niall just powers it into the back of the goal. The Lanfear had no chance at stopping this shot here. So, but you see the movement and you see the guys attacking, and we looked creative. We looked engaged. We looked like we wanted to get forward in this one.
And I loved the energy just from the whistle.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't let up, which is exactly what I was hoping would happen. And they were shooting from the outside a bunch, which, that's the way to my heart.
Yeah, that was something we saw quite a few times in this match. Guys taking some chances from outside the box, and I talked to Oos. We talked to Oos after a little bit after the match as well. And it's like you get the early chance, right? And you work them, and you see here's Dayon with a shot from outside the area. But yeah, you see them working Lanfear and forcing him into making saves and forcing him into action. And it worked out well for the most part for us, but here
I feel like Lakava in preseason quickly became my favorite new signee. I like his energy. He reminds me a lot of Bruce, and the way that he just plays. He's kind of like a pit bull, just like going at it. But to me, it's clear that that's not his natural position. He's professional and he's making the best of it. because that's where he's needed. But there's just moments throughout the entire 90 where you see that that's just not where he's comfortable.
Yeah.
And that's a perfect example. He has a hard time staying goal side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does. And this just and this play here, like it took them what 20 seconds to go end to end here. Not even, but you know, I was been watching this and I've gone back and I've looked, I'm going, okay, where's Malik? Where, you know, he got Kip in the back, right? And obviously, you know, Kip is coming back from injury, but Kip had a pretty good recovery run here. You've got Hamalina making a recovery run here. But I mean, these are just two well placed balls, and you know, Malik gets beat here, doesn't catch up to the play. I don't like the effort there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, the ball just gets round Lacava and a heck of a shot, but you know, maybe a Rosarena could have done better here. You know, I don't know. I don't know that he could have, but maybe he comes out. But he's looked to me, he's looked a bit slow in some of his reactions between the Open Cup and this attempt here.
Yeah. Yeah. He just hadn't quite gotten his bearings yet.
Yeah, that's almost what it feels like. And then I know there was a comment over in the Discord saying they thought that was a Keller own goal. I'm like, no, nope. Keller was nowhere close to that ball.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just such a funky shot. I mean, it's not even necessarily that tight of an angle, but I don't know. I would love to know what Arozarena was thinking here. Like, I understand, I see the movement back to his right to kind of cut off that, that post there, but I don't
It's
know.
almost like he couldn't decide what he wanted
Mhm.
to do. Like come out for the ball or angle himself, or so then it just resulted in too late of a reaction.
That could have been it. And, an inch the other way, that ball's, going a different direction. But, the ball hits off the inside of the post and takes a weird, kind of a weird ricochet back into the interior of the goal, giving El Paso the tie there. But yeah, you come back out and the energy was there again at the start of the second half. So
Thank God.
yeah, like this is two matches in a row where you see the consistency, you see the effort, you see the energy coming out of both coming out of the opening whistle of both halves, and I felt we did a really good job in playing the ball into space and putting guys in chances to get forward. And I think this is probably the cleanest we've played at the back.
Yeah, I feel like, we're 9 games in, and all 9 games, Sanchez has had to sort of piecemeal the back line together with what he's got.
Mm-hmm.
And this feels like we're inching closer to what his true starting back line would look like. I think once we get Lacava swapped out, and playing more of that wing offensive role, um, then and Kip, healthy and able to do a full 90. Um, hopefully we'll shore up that back line a little more.
Yeah, I'm hoping so. Yeah, I want to pull this back here again, but yeah, this play here was really good. We saw Nile early in the match and on Wednesday night against El Paso off to the right, pulling defenders. Here you've got Dea and Deon's been lights out since coming back from the ACL. But you see his movement here. It pulls the defender, and Oos is in all kinds of space.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not necessarily a high percentage shot here. You're closing in on a very tight angle. You've got the defender that's goal side of you, but the finish here and really, I mean, to me, this is more so on the keeper than anybody. I mean, had if Oos gets his left foot to that, maybe I think you get a little bit more power onto it, but not a high percentage shot here. I mean, Lamphere probably should have had this one. Uh, but yeah, I mean, Oos had a heck of a night too.
Well, and I love seeing him playing further up the field.
Mhm.
I know, I think last week Jacob said he hasn't been playing defense, but I feel like we've been relying on him to be more defensive, and that's just not his natural position. I think he
Mhm.
does best, he excels when he's more offensive.
No, I agree, and I asked Coach about having both Zico and Oos in those pivot roles, and he said it's an absolute game changer. It really is for those guys.
Mhm.
And oh my god, this here,
We're lucky.
yeah, we got so lucky
MVP
on
for the
that one.
match.
Yep,
The
there
poll.
you go. Yeah, I mean, good run by LaCava here, and you see, I think that's Oos getting back. I mean, where are the defenders here?
Right.
At this point, Keller had been subbed out. Keller came out at halftime. We did confirm he's basically on a
Just
pitch count.
taking it easy.
Yeah. And he goes, it's coach's call.
Makes sense.
Kip wanted to be out there, and this shot here, oh man, you
Good
love it.
old Zico.
Yeah.
Memories of the Salt Lake game.
hmm But yeah, Zico was
Got the Michael
phenomenal.
Jackson Sully there.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so yeah, back at this point here, um, yeah, Keller had already been brought off. He was on a bit of a pitch count. You don't have the defenders here. LaCava now over on the left. Decent job here for LaCava. I do like the cover here. And Oos tries to make the recovery, and he does, stop the initial attempt there. But Oos's momentum is already pulling him, so it's gonna be hard for him to get back to his left.
Right. But you got to wonder why it's Oos that's back there.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, Malik's not back. I'm not sure where other defenders were at this point, but
Who would have been
very
the other defenders?
fortunate.
Gloucester? No. Gloucester?
Gloucester, yeah, Gloucester.
Okay.
So, and we found out what happened. Chris Gloucester was actually had a stomach bug
Oh
on
no.
Saturday. Yeah, so Kip was actually not supposed to start.
Okay.
Yeah, Kip was not supposed to start. He, coach came to him, early Saturday, said, "Hey, Chris is sick. We need you to go." Initially, Kip was only going to play about 30 minutes. So it sounded like he was going to be used as a sub in the second half with Gloucester getting the start. But with Gloucester being sick, you start Kip. Kip does well for 45. He looked good. He really did. He didn't look like he was, favoring anything. Didn't look like he was taking it gingerly. Like he was playing and came up with some big blocks throughout the 45 he played. But yeah, very, very fortunate not to give up this goal here. Yeah, that's almost as bad as El Paso missing their sitter on Wednesday. But yeah, play here right off the training grounds. You play it short off the corner to Dayon, who finds Zico, and we asked Zico about this as well. Zico said that throughout the night, Vegas had been giving them that space off the corners of the area, off the top of the box, and so I mean, you see how much space Zico had on this play, and United was looking for it. Like
Yeah, after the match interview with Andy,
Mhm.
Coach Sanchez, he said that that was very intentional, that they had been working on as a set piece, and it was
Mhm.
about time that they scored off a set piece.
Yeah, not exactly your traditional, set piece goal where just go straight for goal, but yeah, off the training grounds here, play it short, which I'm never a fan of playing it short, but here, knowing what Vegas wanted to do, it's the right call. This is
Mhm.
absolutely the right call. And even here, right as Zico's shooting, this is 22 yards, give or take. Um, that nice little daisy cutter into the bottom left corner. Like, yeah, just phenomenal.
Well,
You,
especially
you,
because Niall, he seems like he's 50-50 with his corners.
mhm.
Either, the ball barely makes it to the goal, or it skies past it. I don't know. It's you never know what you're gonna get with
Yeah,
his
he
corners.
and he'd had one earlier in the night too from the near post down near home plate, where he
Uh-huh.
just basically didn't even get the ball in play, you
Right.
know. Um, and I know, I know Mike says, hey, he needs to be in the box on corners. I'm I have to think there's a reason why he's the one taking our corners, right? There's got to be a reason, despite his height. Niles not exactly a terribly physical player. That's not to say he can't do it, but you know, uh, maybe I don't disagree that we do need some height in the box, but coach sees something.
Hmm.
There's a reason that coach isn't putting him in there. Now we don't know what that reasoning is.
I mean, sometimes they're great. Sometimes
Mhm.
they're beautifully placed. But I feel like it's a 50-50.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely is. But yeah, I mean, overall, a pretty strong performance by United in this one. No snafus with substitutions and players coming off the pitch. Nothing like that.
No weird
Um,
4 minutes of
no,
power plays.
yeah, no power play kills, nothing, man. Like it was, but Gideon comes on in the second half. Gideon looked good.
Hmm.
Ryko looked pretty good. You have shots, you have opportunities from outside the area. You've got, you again. This
And I
was it a
think
was it?
Rosarena did great.
Yeah.
Once he kind of got his bearings, I
Mhm.
feel like he calmed my fears.
Yeah, he performed well. Like I can't complain too much. I mean, it's other than the what could he have done different? What was his thought process on that goal, right? But other than that, I mean, you look at the stats, and he had a pretty good night.
He had some great stops.
Yeah, 3 saves, 1 goal conceded, 1 punch. But yeah, he did well. He really did, and I felt like he controlled the pitch quite a bit
There
from
was one direct kick where, oof, that was going in, and he just barely got that, tipped it over the bar.
yeah, right there at the end of the match. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
it was a good reaction from him. It's a positive given how negative the other two outings he had were. So definitely take that, and we looked creative. We looked like we were creating space. We were taking advantage of what Las Vegas was giving us. And fortunately, unlike El Paso, Las Vegas didn't drop. They didn't fall back, and they didn't put 9 behind the ball. They weren't, sitting back and trying to walk away with a point like El Paso did. And I think that really opened up opportunities for us. And I think they'll tell you either way, you have to have some amount of patience, and working the spaces and working the areas and getting those opportunities. But yeah, this has probably been the again with very small sample size so far, probably the best home match of the season. Um, and honestly, probably the best match of the season so far.
Hmm.
Still
I
think
don't know
Shiggs is
if it's
number
because it was
one.
against Vegas or because they're gelling, or maybe it's just a combination of the two.
Yeah, to Josh's point, the gelling is improving. The whole team
Hmm.
plays with the direction now, not just indecisive plays. Yeah, and that's something we've talked to them multiple times about. The way the schedules work out, it's been very odd, very stop start for the guys, and it does take away from that consistency that they see.
Hmm.
So I do think having this run of matches, and again, we got 3 matches in 8 days coming up this week. So I think again, it's a really good opportunity for these guys. And yes, we have 2 tough opponents next week. Not to say that Colorado
Mm.
isn't, but when you get back to the lab next week, obviously you have Rowdies and Battery. Rowdies picked up
Hmm.
another win over the weekend.
Still
Um,
undefeated.
yep, still undefeated. Um, so yeah,
Hopefully,
obviously
altitude comes into play.
drink. Sorry, they didn't win over the weekend. They drew over the weekend. I apologize. They drew.
Oh.
And then Battery picked up a win in their match 4-0 over Sporting Jacks, but again, it's Sporting Jacks. So um obviously going to be
Now,
two
Battery is what, third in the
fourth
Eastern Conference? 4th? Okay.
Well, you got 5 teams that are on 13 points in the East.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be tough. Sorry, Battery actually had this past weekend off. They played Jacks the week before. So I'm good.
Mm.
Yeah, again, this schedule is so weird.
Well, it's all
Where's
these tournaments too, the Open Cup and then this tire something or other and
right? I'm expecting to see the Michelin Man out there at some point. But yeah, I mean, we've still got 3 matches in hand on San Antonio and Orange County. We've got 2 matches on most of the rest of the conference,
Mhm.
and a match in hand on Tulsa, Colorado, and Sacramento. So it's been a very disjointed thing.
Yeah.
But no, I think it helps. I think the guys are improving with the consistency of the schedule, even with it being congested,
Yeah,
because
even the congestion, I'm glad that we're gonna have one more match for
mhm,
them to gel even more before we go up against Tampa.
yeah. Yeah, definitely happy to see that. But yeah, because you can only simulate so much in a training session. Like you
Right.
can't simulate all of these things. You can't simulate the same intensity. Now, sure, guys can be out there and amped and working hard, but it's not the same thing as as playing in front of 9,000 people.
Mhm.
So I think it is a good thing that we have this congestion. Maybe it'll help. And, now that guys are getting healthy, we know that Blaquette is hurt currently. I know people have asked about that.
Mhm.
Someone was questioning on Reddit, where Gloucester had been. I'm like, Gloucester's played the last 2 matches. I don't know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. So,
Maybe he just hasn't or no, that was
no,
Dayon who
he's
didn't
he was
start.
down. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been starting. And to answer not really a question by Andrew, but um Pete was on the radio pre-show
Mhm.
and they asked him about Shake's not starting in a Rosarina and he did talk about how the plan all along has been to give a Rosarina some starts. So
Yeah.
I agree. I think Shakes is still our number one, but that's between Shakes getting a little knock at the end and trying to give him, opportunity, especially against his old team
Mhm.
to get to show out.
Well, I
Makes sense.
agree. And that's what the coach said that too post match. He did say that the plan was to start a Rosarina against Las Vegas. That was the plan all along. Like you said, again, obviously Shakes picking up the knock on Wednesday, but Shakes was available. He
Mhm.
wasn't on the injury report. He wasn't, he didn't, it wasn't like they kept him from dressing. He was available, but the plan all along was to start a Rosarina against his former team. So yeah, it worked out. Worked out. A Rosarina had a good match. We pick up the win. Guys look good. We get, again, we get Keller back. Gloucester's back. Vargas is on the bench again. Um,
Wonder if Nava will be in the 18.
so I talked to Pete about
Mhm.
Christian because obviously Christian has not dressed the past 2 matches. And Pete said he's fine. He's healthy. He's good. He's fine. He's looking good in training. Um, Pete said he believes that Nava just ran himself into the ground for the first 3
Mm,
months. I
that
mean,
makes
now
sense.
to be fair, Nava worked his butt off the first couple months of the season, getting to fight his way back onto this club.
Mhm.
So it would make sense if that's what it is. So maybe we see him on Saturday against Colorado. Maybe we see him some a little bit next week, but yeah, Shakes Nava's healthy. He's not injured.
That's
It's not
good.
anything. It's
He's
yeah,
gotta play the long game. He's gotta take
right.
care of his body and, yeah, listen to it
Yeah,
and rest and all that good stuff.
yeah. 2 ACL injuries. Like, yeah, you can't. You got to try your best not to overdo that. So, but yeah, Nava's fine. But yeah, we're getting healthier. Plaquette we don't know the status of his injury, but we don't think it's long term. But yeah, other than that, I mean, I don't know if you saw any of the video or anything after the match. I don't know what KOAT showed. By the way, um, Brad is no longer with KOAT.
Oh.
Yep, yeah, Brad's no longer with KOAT. They have a new guy down there doing their post match So yeah,
New
it's
face.
a new face, a number of guys moving on from the media side of things. Obviously Ken and Brad, and Brandon Ortega moving on a couple years ago. Uh, so yeah, some new faces in the media pen. So but Kip Keller had his emotional support horse on Saturday. I don't know if anyone saw that or not.
No.
Yeah, so they had like little like toy horses, and Kip was holding one during his interview.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
So yeah, Carlos jokingly called it his emotional support horse. I think he ended up signing it and giving it to someone. I'm not 100% sure, um but yeah, it's yeah, be interesting to see what happens in this coming week. But as it stands right now, we are back above the playoff line, sitting on 10 points, 3 wins from 5, 10 points from 15 in our last 5 matches. You come into the weekend, you're back in cup play. The Prinks Tires Michelin Man Goodyear NASCAR 300 on Saturday, whatever you want to call it. But we got switchbacks on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Us, switchbacks in El Paso, all tied for first in Group 2. Yeah, Group 2 in the Prinks Tires Cup. A group of 6. I hate this format. I really and truly
It's
do.
so, yeah, I am not a fan.
The Malort Cup. Good Lord. So yeah, so it's Jekyll and Hyde in our division right now, our group right now. All 3 clubs are sitting on a +1 goal differential. Orange County, AV Alta, and Rising all with a -1, all with losses. Here, a win over Colorado Springs puts you squarely in the driver's seat for the group, I would think, because when you look at our remaining schedule in the cup here, we have AV Alta, who is League One, right?
Mm-hmm. Which we
And
already
then
played.
already played them. You've got Colorado, Phoenix, and El Paso. So I think if you go in and if you've got 6 points going into matches against Rising and El Paso here, depending upon how their other 2 matches look, because I'll pull those up here while we're talking. This on Saturday is a very good opportunity for us to, like I said, end up in the driver's seat. Rising's already played. They've already played 1. This weekend they have Orange County, and then they have us and AV Alta. So, I could see the Rising Orange County match going either way,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if they lose, that puts them basically 12 points back, if you think about it, and then El Paso, they have AV Alta this weekend, followed by Switchbacks and us. So, I mean, of the 2, I think El Paso has the easier path. But again, a win here, and with us getting back into form, I think that puts us, I mean, I so El Paso plays AV Alta in 2 weeks, not this weekend. And again, weird fucking schedule. Play
Right?
all the cup games
At
together.
the same, right. I don't
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah. Play all the cup games together, guys. Like just stop. But yeah, it's I have high hopes for Saturday because Switchbacks are not the team they used to be. They've got 6 points of 15 in their last 10 or the last 5 matches. The 3 draws and then a win over Monterey Bay. So they're not exactly blowing the doors off anybody.
You'd think otherwise with the championship. They're pretty high on Colorado Springs right now.
That they are. Yeah, I didn't look at the power rankings yet this week. I don't really
They're
want
up
to, but
there.
they have Switchbacks at 7. At 2, 2, and 4?
Right? And they moved up, right?
Yeah, they moved up 1.
I
They're
don't know. I
undefeated.
question.
Wait a minute. This says they're undefeated in their past 8 games across all competitions. Wait, what? That
Did we
doesn't
play
seem
them
right.
9 games ago? Is that what it was?
So
When
this
the
says
best picture ever taken was?
they've played 3 cup games since April 4.
They played Open Cup. I mean, they made it. They pass or
Maybe.
who's taking Open Cup, MLS team.
Oh yeah.
First time in history.
How did Vegas move up 4 spots? I mean, there's not even that many teams. There's not even that many teams. What? There's 25 teams, but Las Vegas moved up 4.
Where's Vegas now?
23rd.
Literally?
Yeah. Vegas is 23rd, but they moved up 4 spots. It also says last week they were 20th.
20. Okay.
Yeah. So here,
Yeah.
let me share.
Now, is this our first match playing on turf
Um,
with this squad?
I don't know. Yeah.
I feel like it is. Oh, maybe is Oakland turf or is it real grass?
Oakland's turf. I'm pretty
Okay,
sure.
then not.
Yeah. Yeah. See, last week Las Vegas was 20th. They've now moved up 4 spots to make it the 23rd.
Okay.
What? That USL typos. That yeah.
And we've stayed the same.
Yeah, we stayed the same despite going
a draw and a win.
Yeah. We've won 3 of 5. We picked up we're now undefeated in 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won 4 of 6 in all competitions. Yeah.
Well, see how important those power rankings are.
Right?
They are so accurate.
It's wild because so here they're taking into account here they're considering 8 in all past 8 games across all competitions, right? Mm-hmm. There's no mention of the fact that we're unbeaten in 3 and won 4 of 6 in all competitions.
I think because we've played so few games, we're just forgotten.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, New Mexico. Well, I'll just leave them where they are.
But yeah, looking ahead to Colorado Springs, I mean, again, I feel like they're underperforming from where we would have thought they were going to be. And I'll pull up my tracker here, but from what you know about Colorado's season, what's surprised you so about them so far this year?
What surprised me?
Yeah.
That they went as far as they did in the Open Cup. I was not expecting that. I also feel like Maples being, they're a key piece of their back line, and he seemed like he was really struggling out the gate. I haven't watched them much since the Open Cup. So I can't really speak to whether or not their defense has gotten a little bit cleaner. I feel like they used to always be like a guaranteed 3 points, right?
Yep, we own the Colorado
few years. Yeah. Usually there's fans that you can hear on the broadcast feed pretty frustrated with us. I think we definitely get under their skin. I think it's as the years go by, it starts to get a little chippier, a little more contentious. I feel like they were flopping a whole lot the last time we played them. I'm surprised by that. That wasn't really a characteristic that I really attached to Colorado. So I don't. I'm anticipating a chippy game and a quick pace game since it's on turf.
Yeah, I would as well. And to your point about Maples and their defense, like they're still letting in a lot of goals. Now they have not lost in league since we beat them. They are unbeaten in the league, but that back line is not good for Colorado. Their one win since us. Well, I think they beat Rising in Cup play, but they beat Monterey Bay in league, which is Monterey Bay. So I'm not putting a whole lot of stock into that one. But when we played them back on March 28th, we turned Maples inside out. Dayon Harris took him to school, took him out back, whipped him, and then turned him right back around.
And so did Nava.
Nava did too. The two of them, good grief, they ran all over Talon Maples. And so while he may have taken some of what we want to use and gone up there to Colorado and said, "Hey, here's here's what they're going to do." I mean, he did not look good. He has not looked good this season. And that back line has struggled to stop anybody. And so I think that's a huge weakness for them. And I don't see it necessarily going well for them.
Bolte says they score a ton of penalties. So hopefully there's not too many yellow cards.
Well, a lot of that might depend on who the referee is, but
yeah.
So let's see, their draw against San Antonio was due to an own goal. They did have a penalty against Orange County. They had a penalty back against Monterey Bay, but they were already up 3-1 at that point. They had the penalty in their draw against Lexington. And then obviously 2 penalties against us. So they have not had a clean sheet in league play. They have had a clean sheet in cup. They did shut out Phoenix. So, but again, I'm concerned.
Have we had a clean sheet?
Yes. Yep. Doesn't feel like it, but we have.
No, it doesn't. I think, what is our goal differential?
Minus
-1?
Yeah, -1. Okay. Yep, we do have 1 clean sheet. That was Shakes.
Well, yeah. I'm looking forward to another one this weekend.
I am too. I think we could. I think we could potentially do that. But again, going on the road is always tough. Now, Trailheads did not travel well in that first match. I know that a number of people are trying to get together to go up to Colorado Springs. The home away from home. We need to reclaim our territory up there. But and clearly the chili is better here, without a doubt. But yeah, going on the road, yeah, that we do. Going on the road has not been great for us so far. Unfortunately, it's not been our forte so far this season. But I think Widener Field, a place that we're very familiar with, a place that we've gone and really done well at. I feel like this is a good chance for us to again continue that momentum. So we had the question earlier: who's in goal? Do you think it's Shakes? Do you think it's a Rosarena?
So normally I would think a Rosarena for a cup match, but I don't know that Sanchez would want to have Shakes not play 2 matches in a row before going up against Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if they want to, stay top of the bracket, I'm going to guess Shakes is going to get the start.
Yeah, I'd probably go that way as well. I feel like he's the better option here, especially if he's healthy. If he is hurt, if he did in fact pick up a knock and it is serious enough, for him to be held out. Then obviously, but I think we're okay. I think we're okay going to, I think we'll have shakes. I think you see Kip coming back. I think you get 60 minutes out of Kip on Saturday. I don't see him doing 90. Again, he'll bring him back, so ease him back into it. And I think our back line is, I think you have Nico, Keller, Howell, and more than likely like Kava on the right again. But without a true healthy right back, I mean, I think that's where we're at. But I
Not
like
Gloucester
if he's healthy. If he's healthy, again, obviously he had stomach bug on Saturday. I would assume that he would be better in time for Colorado, but fully healthy, yeah, I think you do see Gloucester instead of LaCava. But then how do you get LaCava in? That's tough because, like I said, we've talked about, I would love to see him farther up the pitch. I think he needs to be more involved offensively because we're not having those. This isn't the same fullback situation as we had with under Troy, where you have Brucey and Austin, bombing up the wings. This is a very different system than that. The fullbacks don't really do those overlapping runs like we've seen. So yeah, I mean, how do you get LaCava involved? I want to see more LaCava. I want to see more Renix. So
yeah.
But already, score prediction for Saturday against Colorado.
I'm gonna say 2-0. Clean sheet for Shakes.
Alrighty, there you go. I will take that. Abdu Ndiaye. Apparently, he was the USL and Pro Referee of the Year.
Has he
in 2024?
Have we had him?
That's a very good question.
This year?
This year, I don't think so. But
when I saw the female ref, I instantly remembered that I didn't like her the last time we had her.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan. I feel like I recognize them before I know their names.
Probably. At this point, there's a few of them, yeah. And then obviously, I don't know if you heard, there were Charlie. Charlie had a chant on Saturday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there were people. The fans were chanting for Charlie on Saturday. Yeah, and at one point we were trying to get the second half. I think it was we were trying to get stoppage time in the second half, and they radioed down to Nate, and Nate was trying to get the minutes from Charlie. He goes, "Yeah, Charlie just ran away from me." Charlie had run down the Las Vegas side of the touch line for something. Charlie chicken legs. Is that what they were saying?
Charlie chicken legs.
We heard something. I was fairly certain that's what it was, but yeah, they were cheering for, they were chanting for Charlie on Saturday. But yeah, no, it's Colorado Springs. Yeah, I think we go up there. I don't know if it's a clean sheet. I'm gonna say 2-1 us. But either way, I think we pick up the 3 points in the cup and we continue to put our team together, get gelled more, and have more confidence going forward. Not that they're ever not confident, but I think you stringing together these results, I think it does have a greater effect on them. So
yeah, just being comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
Being able to predict, each other's runs, and
mm-hmm.
It's fun when they're successful at those little ticky-tacky kind of plays.
Yep, I absolutely agree. Quickly before we get out of here, Lobos defeated the Aggies by a final of 12-6 tonight on the Diamond. So congrats to the Lobos. And then
the kit drop.
Yes, we have a tease of a kit.
I'm guessing turquoise.
Maybe it just might be if this image is accurate. Black United Turquoise. They have their own hexadecimal code now.
Oh.
Yeah. So assuming it's a
See, but I like more of like I like the turquoise that the Lady Lobos use.
okay, yeah.
Like a true like blue turquoise.
Hmm.
This feels a little bit too sea green turquoise.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, kit drops on Friday. Could we see this in the cup? It would depend on who the sponsor is, to be honest with you,
Mm,
because cup matches are typically reserved for certain sponsors. So
maybe it'll be a new Taos kit.
maybe, maybe, but and I know Jacob texted us earlier and he saw this and he said, collar question mark?
Mm,
Because if you look at this photo right here, and
looks
you can
like
see the
Gloucester.
edges. That does look like Gloucester, yes. That almost looks like it might be a collar.
Yeah, I could get behind that.
It almost looks like it might be a collar. I saw Everton; they had a collared kit in their match on Saturday. I was like, oh, I want that kit, but
Maybe it's gonna be like New Mexico blue sky. Because I say that because I follow some of the media guys on Instagram and they were
mm,
up in a balloon today.
really,
Yep.
hmm,
So they're doing some sort of media stuff in a hot air balloon.
okay, fun. It'll be interesting to see what happens, but yeah, if you can get out to the team store this Friday from 5:30 to 7:30 to get your kit. I don't know if they're I would assume that they announce it ahead of time. I would assume, but I mean, if that's the only way to see the new kit before they post it on socials, I don't know.
Is that kind
I
of
don't
what
know.
happened with the black and yellow bash? Did
Mm,
they post it before the bash?
I think they posted it like day of the bash.
Oh, there's a black and yellow United balloon? That's new then, right?
I think so. I haven't seen them with a balloon before, but yeah. So I don't know. I'm excited. New kit. Maybe
The
it's got a
plot
collar.
thickens.
Give me a collar. Give me
Yeah,
a
that'd be
collared
pretty cool.
kit. It would be. So yeah, get your kits. Like I said, and depending on who the sponsor is, that might determine what they wear on Saturday. Um, but yeah, yeah, it'd be exciting. So yeah, there you have it, folks. United picks up has a 4-point week last week. We have Colorado Springs this weekend in the Prinks Goodyear NASCAR 2000 Cup on Saturday, and then we're back at home next week for matches against Tampa Bay and Charleston Battery. Christina, do you have any closing thoughts?
Just safe travels to anybody who's heading up north.
Yep, I would agree with that. But yeah,
Mhm.
so I think that's gonna just about do it for us tonight. Like I said, we will work on rescheduling Itamar. Hopefully, we get Itamar maybe next week. It's going to depend on scheduling. I said, like, busy week for the club, so we'll see
Yeah.
what happens with that. But otherwise, thank you all for being here. Thank you all so much for watching and being part of the show tonight. As always, you can watch us live on Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock on YouTube and Facebook. The podcast will go live later in the week across all major podcast platforms. If you're listening to us on a platform, or if the platform you listen to us on does not have us, let us know. I will make sure we get on there. But yeah, stay tuned. Make sure you're following us on socials. Make sure you are supporting United. Quick note: Saturday's match will not be broadcast on 1017 The Team.
Boo.
Yes, so you will have to listen to away broadcast no matter what you do, unless I can talk Jacob into potentially doing a watch along on Saturday. So we'll see. We'll see about that. But yeah, we appreciate you guys. Thank you all so much for being here. We will be back next Tuesday at 8 o'clock, unless something changes, to discuss a win over Colorado Springs. Look at head to Tampa Bay and Battery next weekend. So yeah, for myself, for Christina, for Jacob, thank you all again. Until next time, Somos Unidos, we love you. Bye.
Night.